What's all this then? A second episode, one in 2 days. What's Kev up to? The series has got the same name. What's Bayern Munich? What's all this? Just to explain very quickly, because of the nature of the Expedition of Gold, we're going to effectively split it in two so that people can pick and choose the content they want to watch. I'm going to assume you probably all want to watch this side of it, which is going to be continuing club football, trying to win as many trophies as we can, the essence of the nature of gold. The nature of gold? The Expedition of Gold. I think that's because I couldn't decide between essence and nature in my mind. But at the same time, we can't have an Expedition of Gold and not win the World Cup and the Euros, or at least try to. So we need the international stuff as well. I know it's not to everybody's tastes. So we'll just run two playlists. The playlist that we started yesterday, that'll be the one where we have England. This playlist will be the one where we have Bayern Munich. Keep up with both if you want the full story. If not, pick and choose. Can't make it easier than that. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Expedition of Gold, the Bayern Munich bit. It probably needs a catchier name than that, but I didn't have time to come up with one. I'm Kev, and I've literally just become manager of Bayern Munich, and if you follow me on Twitter at Lollujo, you'll have seen the story unfold on there of how I was linked with the job. It's March now, by the way, so a long time since we moved on from Tottenham. But I was linked with the job, and then I interviewed for the job, and then I got the job, and then I saw that they were massively in debt, hadn't won the league for 15 years, and it was all a bit of a mess. But that was all stuff I found out after the interview, because Kev doesn't do due diligence, apparently. But the general gist of this story, if you are new, is we've played the last 22 seasons in the non-league to legend playlist. If you want to know what happened, go and check out that one. But to cut a long story short, and I apologise if you are going to go and watch that series from the start, but it's over 200 videos. You're probably not going to do that. We just had an invincible season where we won everything with Tottenham. And I mean everything. 7 trophies in one season, including the FIFA World Club Cup thing. So we left, and we're now on an Expedition of Gold where we're going to go and try and win every trophy available to us. So that means we need to go to every playable country. We've added a country from every continent as well, so we can try and win every continental trophy. And then we've also got the international competitions from all over the world. We're not going to get it all done, but I'm going to give it a blooming good go before Football Manager 18 comes out and try and win as much as we possibly can. So that's why I was rubbing my hands together with glee when I saw that the Bayern Munich job had come up, and I didn't really look into it anymore because I thought Bayern Munich, easy, we'll win the German league, maybe even this season, and then I can resign and move on, and we'll have 6 months in Germany. Everyone's happy. What I didn't realise was this. The last time Bayern Munich won the league was in the 23-24 season. Since then, lots of second places, but recently dropped down to a couple of 5th place finishes. They're not even in the Champions League. We're up to 4th at the moment before we have our first game. But we're very precariously in 4th. Level on points with Leverkusen, just 1 goal ahead on goal difference. Schalke are breathing down our necks as well. We are just 1 point behind Wolfsburg and Hertha. I'm not going to get these names done very well. I mean, it's not impossible to win the league. How many games? What is there? 34 games. So we've got 9 games left, and we're 8 points behind Dortmund. If they fall apart and we just win every game, we could still win the league and be gone in 3 months. But it's not looking as likely. And with that financial situation, there's every chance that we won't get much money to spend over the summer, and we might not even be able to do it next year either. So, yeah, none of that's ideal, really. What's more positive is the fact that Igor Anicic is here. I forgot all about him. He's 27 now. He's now played 65 games for Serbia and is finally getting regular first-team football in a top league. He didn't really ever get it for me at Spurs. He had a little taste of it at Ipswich, but didn't want to stick around. But he's enjoying life in Germany after his £48.5 million move. 3 seasons ago now. That's so long ago. But I don't know where the money's gone, because if you recall, those of you who have been around for a while, Bayern Munich are the team that we gave £72 million for Oscar. So where did that money go? There you go, I'm scouting him. I want to try and bring him home. Forget this whole Tottenham thing that you seem to have got a bee in your bonnet about. You've won everything you're going to win there, because Tottenham, by the way, are third in the Premier League. They're already, at least I think they might still be in the Champions League, but look, they're 10 points behind City. They're not winning the Premier League this year. With only 8 games to go, and City have got 2 games in hand. So if Oscar wants to win things, it's coming back to Germany. That's how you win things. So we haven't got the money to buy him, even if he wanted to come. Oh, it's all going to go so desperately wrong. I was appointed in the job yesterday. I've not really had a chance to do anything at all, and obviously the transfer window is closed, so transfers aren't going to be a thing that happens. Not that we have the money anyway. We do have a bit of spare wage budget, so we're just going to go straight into our first game. We're at home against Hannover. I don't know how good Hannover are not very good, hopefully. So it would be nice to start off our German leg of this adventure with a win. We're instigating our trademark 4-3-1-2. It's not necessarily the system most suited to our players, as shown by the fact that coming into the team, we have a transfer listed centre-back playing in midfield who's only played 2 games. He's worth 15 million quid, but he's only played 2 games all season. And he's going to come in and play in midfield. And we've got 2 lads up front who've got 11 goals between them this year. I suspect they've been playing a 4-2-3-1 before I came in, with Berger probably up front. And then there's some decent wide players who I'm going to try and sell in the summer to bring in a little bit of money to try and bring in some more attacking players. So I have that's my plan at the moment. I'm also a little bit worried about the quality of our goalkeeping. So the call has been made to Kevin Thompson. He's keen to come, but Hearts want 6 million quid for him, and we don't have 6 quid. So we'll have to see, I guess. So I'm very much relying on my old buddy Igor Anicic, who, if you remember, we gave him his Rotherham gave him his debut in English football. I've forgotten he played 1 game for them in the Premier League before inexplicably coming to Ipswich on loan. But I'm the guy who made Igor Anicic a star. Most of his football has been played under me that season. Then the first season at Spurs I wasn't there, but I think that's when I arrived. So 3 seasons at Spurs. And now he's back with me again at Bayern Munich. He's almost played for me as many times as Kevin Thompson did anyway. So he's going to be my translator. And this is the team that we're going to be playing against Hannover. So in goal we have Clementino, who is a 28-year-old Brazilian goalkeeper. Presumably Igor's backup for the Brazil national team. He's played 7 caps. To be fair to him, he is a 4-star goalkeeper. He's not bad, is he? We probably don't need Kevin Thompson. He's been around at Bayern for the last 4 years, coming in for 15 million quid. I think we're probably good in the goalkeeping department. Right back is Patrick Szczesny, a 24-year-old German, but he wants to be a defensive midfield player. We're playing him at right back where he's accomplished, but he's a 4.5-star defensive midfield player. We perhaps need a system that uses a defensive midfield player, or maybe bring him into our midfield when we sort out our defensive areas a little bit. But they spent an awful lot of money on him, bringing him in from Stoke. This is where the money's disappearing to. Spraying money around like that on young central midfield players. It's irresponsible. I can't believe a club spends so irresponsibly. Centre back, we've got Carlos Montes, who's a 28-year-old Spanish international. I mean, this looks like a really good squad that shouldn't be sitting outside of the Champions League places. There you go. He spent his entire career at Bayern, so we know that we're going to have a reliable performance out of him, and he's got one of the higher ratings in the whole squad for this season so far. So I'm expecting big things from Carlos Montes. Bernard Magath is a 22-year-old German centre-back, 14 caps, another very good young player who's come through our youth system. We've got some decent youngsters here at Bayern Munich. This is the first time I'm seeing these players. I've just hit quick pick because I've just turned up today. So we might tweak this a little bit in a minute once we start. I'm already thinking Szczesny in there if this Ederer bloke's not any good. If we've got another right back who looks like there is one on the bench, that might be a sensible change to make before we even hit continue. Maxime Lafarge is a 23-year-old French left back, possibly a little bit of a weak link. He's been around, fairly regular first team player for 3 years, but he's only 3-star current ability. We've not got anybody better, so he's in the team for the rest of this season at least. But I don't like the fact we've only got a 3-star left back. That troubles me because fullbacks are so important to the system that we play. We might need to go out and strengthen and buy some proper fullbacks on either side because we're playing a left back who's not very good and a right back who should be playing in midfield, and neither of those are ideal with this tactic. In midfield then we've got Tristan Michels, who's 32 years old but has played over 100 times for Belgium. He's another 4-star current ability player who's been around for a long time and never disappointed. Those average ratings, those assists, I mean, this is the worst season he's ever had. So we need to turn him around and get him back to his best and hope that he hasn't just sort of gone off the boil because he's getting old. It's weird. He wasn't that great when he was at Fulham. They paid a lot of money for him and he was never really any good in the Premier League in 5 years. But Bayern Munich allowed Fulham to make a profit and he's come in here and he's been brilliant ever since. What a weird situation. But at 32, that might be why he's having his worst season for the club. It's perhaps not because of the previous manager, who incidentally, Hugo Lloris. It might be just that he's too old now and can't cut it anymore. On the left-hand side of our midfield three, we know all about Igor Anicic. We've had a look. I mean, he's only 3 stars as well, bless him. He might not be. He's after being the man who gave that kid a career, I'm going to be the man who ruined him by forcing him out of the team at Spurs and then doing the same thing at Bayern Munich. But he will be in the team longer than this guy, Patrick Ederer. He's only 2.5 stars. I don't know why we spent that much money on a player from Hertha, who has never been any good. Look at the amount of different teams he's played for in his career. We've got Schalke, Leverkusen, Werder Bremen, 1860, Cologne. Just give me subtitles now because I'm going to get these names wrong all the time. This is just team names. Then in attacking midfield, we have Jindřich Berger, currently top scorer. He's a Czech international, 109 caps, 53 goals for the Czech Republic. He's another one who's getting on a bit, 32 years old. He's another one where I'm straight away thinking if we can get money for this guy this summer, we'll get money for him and we'll replace him with a younger model. But he's got a pretty decent goal return over 6 years here at Bayern. And then probably the weakest part of the whole squad, which might go and buy Irabarren and Wells. That might solve the problem. But Sebastian Meyer is only 2.5 stars. He's 21. He's never going to make it. So we'll move him on sooner rather than later. And then Herbert Amoroso, 33-year-old German international, played a lot of games for Germany. I guess he's just on the way down now. He looked like he was a cracking player when he was at Leipzig, scoring loads of goals, but slowly declined over the last 5 or 6 seasons, really. And despite a big money move to Bayern, he's never really cut it for us. Presumably a lot of these were substitutes. They're not. He's just not very good. We might be able to turn him around and get some performances out of him. I'm not going to fiddle with the way the team lines up for today because I don't know if this... Actually, that guy's good. Why is he not in the team? Hold on. Hold your horses. We're just going to fix this. He's going to go there. He's going to go there. Straight away, that looks better. We got better strikers. Nakis, not really. No, that'll do. We'll make do with this. We're going with our control, flexible, 2 complete forward system that we were using so successfully with Spurs and with England. Successfully-ish. So I don't really know what to expect. I don't know how good this Bayern Munich team is. The way with these star ratings, it's all to do with how good the club is. So just because we've got some 4-star, 4.5-star players doesn't mean they would get anywhere near the Tottenham team that we've just moved on from. Yes, we're making subtle tweaks. Oh yeah, he's fantastic. He's great. Yes, chairman's great. I don't care who he is. Let's get into the game. But yeah, I don't know if this team's any good or not. The media were very quick to point out that I'd made such a downward step going from Tottenham to Bayern Munich. And even though we're 23 years into the future and it does have a little bit of context to it, it still seems a bit mental that that's considered a significant downward step. But for a team that's not qualified for the Champions League for 2 years in a row, I guess... I mean, we've seen Man United completely capitulate in the Premier League. They're a mid-table team now. So I guess Bayern Munich could be going the same way unless we can stop the rot, and we have to, or this Expedition of Gold is going to be a bit of an anticlimax when I just get fired after 2 years and no one else will hire me and we end up in China anyway. Not because we're going there to finish off a pentagon, hexagon, whatever it is. But because they're the only clubs who'll give me a job, because I could just wave my Champions League winners' medals at them. Right, let's build something here from this midfield. I've not really seen anything other than long shots so far, and we talked about this a little bit in the England episode yesterday, where the thing with this tactic is it's a fantastic tactic for allowing really good players to shine. It's, however, not so good with getting a performance out of players who aren't any good. It's not that kind of tactic. So one of the reasons for that is that it does encourage taking a lot of shots, a lot of long shots. If you're a really talented team with lots of players who can score from miles out, you'll score an absolute ton of goals with those long shots. If the team aren't any good, you just miss the target a lot. And that's what we've seen from these early shots that we've had. We've had 7 shots, only 1 on target. We're not creating enough shots, not creating enough chances, but also the ones we are creating, we're shooting too early. Half of our shots are from long range. 6 of the 8 have been off target. And, I mean, that shows we've got bad strikers. We've identified that already. But for a manager who is all about attacking football, scoring lots of goals, it's going to be a problem. Even the board at the interview wanted me to commit to playing defensive football. I refused. But the way the squad is structured, it's structured around defensive football. It's solid at the back, lots of good defensive players, but up front is just a pile of turd. So let's change the turds up a little bit and just swap some of these around and just see what other combinations we can come up with. Can he do that? No. Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he? What are you, Veles? You're a wide player. That's why I can't find a way to fit you in. Have we got another wide player up here? Does Kev need to do tactics? They're all left wingers. We could have brought on Burak Erkan. We should have brought, he's 18. A young 18-year-old Turk attacking player. He sounds like the kind of Bayern Munich player I'm interested in. Let's not bring on Veles. Let's bring on Erkan for Berger. Stick him out there, if I can actually do it. Really? There we go. Which one of these is a proper striker, do we think? Let's try them both. Can we actually click any of the right buttons? Right, we'll do this. He's going to be an inside forward on attack. He can be a winger on support. We could even drop him back. Oh, this has turned into a proper tactic, everybody. This might be the tactic we need to be doing with this team. We'll go balanced because we've got wide players now. We don't need to play especially narrow. That already looks like a better team, I think. So perhaps the tactical tweak will be enough to just grab a winner in these last 10 minutes now. It's him. We'll bring Veles on after all and stick him out wide. He wants to be a winger though. Can you be an inside forward? You can't really. So perhaps why can't I click the buttons? You can attack. You can be on support. We'll swap them around a little bit. Nakis isn't very good at doing it. We're really struggling for strikers, which is a massive problem. I know Igor Anicic can play up front. We did it a little bit at Spurs, but that seems like a really silly idea because we kind of need him in midfield. But let's try and... I think that's the wrong way, Igor. Let's try and grab a goal here. So, Anicic, what can he conjure up from midfield? Absolutely nothing at all. Chesney gets in well, though. And Erkan is in. And I thought our new Turkish wonder kid, he probably isn't a wonder kid, but I'm picturing Oscar when I see Erkan with the ball. And or Ercan, probably, if he's Turkish. Would that be right? Or am I just guessing based on that chap, what plays for Liverpool? We're just going to get a 0-0 draw out of this, aren't we? Which... I guess it means we can forget any ideas that we had about winning the league because we're much better than Hannover and we've just not been able to conjure up a proper chance against them despite dominating the game. This is going to be a harder job than I expected on this Expedition of Gold. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please make sure you pop a like on there for me, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.